Welcome English 1102 friends. This is a video, and a very short video, where I just wanted to talk for a second about the What Combat Feels Like video, which is on our page to do instead of a reading for one day. It's a short video, it's a short little clip, it's really just an anecdote by this author named Colby Bazell. He's written, he served in Iraq in the 2000s after September 11th. And after he came back, he has worked as a journalist. He's got a couple of books. If you want to look him up, he's written more about his experience in Iraq, but also about his experiences coming back to the United States as a combat veteran struggling with PTSD. And you get some of where his PTSD came from here in this video. I just wanted to make a couple of points about this video and about why it's on our syllabus and what it does and what it shows. If you notice, a lot of the stuff we've read, it's about Vietnam or about World War II, things that happened before you all were born, things that happened before I was born. These significant combat experiences of the past, 100 years or so. What combat feels like is very clearly from the war of our lifetime, the war on terror, the war in Iraq, and the combat in Afghanistan. The couple of points that I want to make about this video, we have a significant population of people like Colby Bazell now who served in Iraq, who did a tour of duty, maybe 2 or 3 in Iraq and Afghanistan. And this video, if you notice, there's 3 very obvious sections to this video. There is him being sort of pulled out of his bunk and taken through the first combat experience where they go through this intense fight, but then they floor it out of it, as he says, and get through it. You see right here, he's laying on his bunk. He is like woken up. And then he goes through this experience where he is almost killed. This person with a rifle shoots at him, and all these bullets are, whizzing around him. And he very clearly later is like, I almost died, I was almost killed. You see that section right here, and then the end of that section is the end of the first sort of section of this, the end of that experience, where they get through, everybody's okay, they had to go through this dangerous area, but then they got through it okay. The second section of this is they're told that they have to go back through this and try to clear it and try to deal with some of these people. His second time through that area, he is a little more calm. He's not shaken by that first sort of combat experience, that first like, oh no. You see right here where the commander is like, all right, we got to go back through here and try to deal with some of these people. The second section is much more, he's much more active. He takes a much more active role in this. He's not just shocked and almost shocked that he didn't get killed and shocked at the bullets whizzing around. And instead what he is doing is being sort of aggressive and assertive and firing at people. This is also the section with the guy with the RPG, the people hiding behind the tires, which you can see right here. And he is clearly, there's a section of this where he sees some people who shouldn't be on the street. The commander tells him he shouldn't be on the street, and he is much more in control, and he fires over their heads. Well, not here. This guy comes out with an RPG. It's clear what's happening, and he very clearly just lets loose with on these fires on these people. If you notice, he never says that he killed anybody. He says nobody moved behind the tires again. Which is another notable thing here. He's not talking about killing people or that. What he says right here is, after that, nothing moved behind the tires. They get back through this area safely, and as he says, they're out of supply, they're out of ammunition, they're out of water, they're out of fuel, so they have to go back to the base. And that really triggers the third section of this, the last couple of minutes of this video, where he is very clearly sort of trying to come down from all the adrenaline that has been pumping through him because of this experience, but also trying to come to terms with what happened today, and both how he was almost killed, very clearly inches away from being killed with this person shooting at him, and then very clearly later had to kill probably multiple people. And it was a kill or be killed situation. You know, this guy's coming out with a rocket propelled grenade. It's very clear that these people are the enemy when he fires on them. But you get this section where he is sort of struggling with almost dying and then having to take lives. And the sergeant comes to him and says, you know, you need to try to put all this that happened today in a box and not open that box up. This sort of what a psychologist would call compartmentalizing, which in some ways is healthy. If you can compartmentalize this, that's a way to not just have it rattling around in your brain at all times and be stressed out and thinking about it. But compartmentalizing like that is also one of the things that can cause PTSD, because you know you can put it away for a certain amount of time, but it's going to come back out in different ways. And one of those ways can be post-traumatic stress disorder. And so you see him having this very intense day where he's nearly killed, takes some lives, and then tries to sort of put that away. And that's the way that he can go to sleep right here. The only way he can calm himself down, and if you've ever had a big adrenaline dump like this, you know, you're shaky and wound up and sort of frazzled after it, and one of the ways he can turn that off and settle himself back down is to sort of put this in a box and put the top on the box and seal it up inside himself. That's really the only thing I wanted to point out to you about this video, is the 3 sections, the rolling out and then having to go back and then trying to calm himself down. There is this form to it, this structure to it. And a couple of the ways that he talks about this, he never says that he killed these people, he says they didn't move anymore. And the put it in a box language of, you know, close this part of yourself off so that you can calm yourself down and move past it and function, which is what soldiers would have to do in a setting, in a situation like this. Hope that helps you understand how this is relevant to the other conflict and combat stuff on the syllabus, and why it's on the syllabus. If you've got questions about this or want more information about him, like I said, he's still a working journalist now, still a working writer. So I'll be happy to give you more information. Otherwise, I hope this is helpful to you. Thanks.